Hi everybody, Lori Morse here. I hope you've been living low carb and loving it. In our last nutrition class, we had talked about the levels of toxicity that carbohydrates, grains and legumes in particular, are to a human body. And one of the things I wanted to impart real quick with you guys today is the idea of soaking and sprouting grains and legumes, because that actually helps to neutralize the phytic acid and also eliminates the toxicity levels of grains and legumes. And it also increases or enables the enzymes in the grain and the legume. And that helps us to have a greater level of nutrition from that particular grain or legume. So if you don't feel like sprouting and soaking your own grains and legumes overnight, you can buy sprouted grain bread, sprouted grain tortillas. That generally has a few different types of grains in them. But if you are going to make soups, and lentil soup is a favorite of all of ours, just soak those legumes overnight, rinse them, and then cook as you normally would. And if you do want to go ahead and sprout some grains for yourself, then the general method is the same in sprouting and soaking, which is to soak the grain or the legume, whatever the amount is, in a bowl or a jar or something like that overnight, and then rinse them for as long as you want to sprout them. Now, sprouting times do differ for different grains and different legumes, and also nuts. I think that sprouting nuts is also a valuable thing too. So, for example, I'll just soak some almonds overnight, and the next morning I'll put a lid or a cheesecloth on them, and I'll just rinse them twice a day, and until you see a little sprout. So go with what you like. When I start to see a little nub at the tip of the nut, the almond, then that's good for me, and that usually takes 3 or 4 or 5 days or something. But other grains and legumes do go a bit quicker, as well as different kinds of nuts and seeds. But the idea is to soak away, so to speak, or sprout away the toxicity levels that grains and legumes can tend to be to a human body, and activate the things that will be good for us. It was actually the Chinese who discovered this, so we owe a debt of gratitude to our lovely Chinese history, that ancient wisdom that I love so much in modern times. So there was a bit of a crushing blow in that nutrition class about not eating grains and legumes, and this will help to allow us to eat them with a bit less repercussion. And keep in mind still that it doesn't mean we want to go hog wild. We want to keep our amounts of carbohydrate grams in any one given meal and in any one given day still below levels 150 grams for sure, and ideals around 120 grams per day. But that way you can get a little bit, you don't have to forfeit it completely, and you're not eating too many for your system. So I hope that is helpful for you. That is all that I had to tell you on my notes. So happy sprouting and soaking, and there's lots of information on this in books and online, and who knows, I might teach another video class on it. But for now, that is about it. So if you didn't get a chance to take the nutrition class, you can see that at livinglowcarbandlovingit.com. And if you have any questions, let me know. Lori Morse.